sometimes it can be helpful. Like we journal and stuff like that, but like sometimes it can be helpful to hear from your own voice, like what you were moving through, right?
I would often go back to listen to our recording, and it's I know that thing like as you grow up, you find out the voice you hear through a recording is not the one you hear internally because of how the bones within your head reverberate to change the pitch of the sound that like
Mm.
transfers to your brain. So like hearing yourself talk externally about something is like whoa, and realizing that that's you and that it's but it sounds like a different you, but it's not. And like connecting to that, that's I was
I just went through and like I was like trying to get my my storage limit down for my Apple, my iCloud.
yes,
And
yeah.
and I had these videos from when I worked at the park in the summer of 2018. And it was like there was a girl who had just left, like it was her first summer. It was my third summer there, but it was her first summer not working there. And so the previous summer we'd become like buddies. And so I made her all these videos like today, here we're doing this, here I'm with so and so, look. And I like, I mean, hours. I don't have hours on them anymore, but it was just like, it was ridiculous how much I was like putting into making videos for her. But I was like listening to myself and seeing, and I'm not that person anymore. And so it
Yeah.
was really fascinating to like see like how thirsty I was for things and how like I see myself in there, but she is like really scared of like just seeing that with a different level of compassion, you know?
I was talking about that with Keegan yesterday. Back near the pandemic, it was like selfie post. Like it was. Well, I was also like going through a horrific time with that ex as well, with
Yeah.
him breezing in, blazing, and then just bailing,
Yeah.
and just noticing how much I was like sharing a selfie or like trying to show to the world I was okay and that I
Yeah.
wasn't hurting, and how much like putting that image out into the world was like something that was huge for me. And now I'm barely sharing photos of myself. Like it doesn't feel like that's me anymore or that's important. It's yeah, just that change in this like scared, really sad, depressed individual that was struggling to find her way back then to the more assured, like, oh, those things aren't important to me anymore. And
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, seeing yourself transition, like you were saying, like I think you said it a bit more eloquently than I did, but like, it's amazing seeing that change and also like wanting to go back and be like, oh love, I just want to hug you and tell you like you don't need to do any of this, like it's
Yeah.
all there inside of you. And like
Yeah.
there's oh, you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to like push that all into yourself and your faith and belief and like what you can bring and the person you want to be and how you want to craft yourself. And yeah, the kindness that I'm even like a couple years ago looking back on myself with, you know how we were kids, we're like, oh, I remember that embarrassing moment at 3 a.m. It wakes me up and I still feel so embarrassed and I like want to die. It's like it's turned into a softened thing that's like, no, like she was trying to find her way. She was probably dealing with these themes and scared of this and feeling like she had to prove her worth here and that she wasn't
Hmm.
good enough in all of those times. And so she was trying to say, hey, look at me, I'm good enough, I'm good enough. Like, look
Hmm.
at all I'm doing, I'm good enough. Look, I made my hair nice and I put makeup on and look at the big stuff I'm doing by traveling in big cities and working big hospital jobs and seeing cool things like, oh, and now I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I don't. I mean, that
And
was a
that,
great
so
phase.
there's a reason you're coming to all of this, and it's because you're unmoored now. Like you had a ship in a very safe harbor
Hmm.
and a very predictable wave pattern, and you wanted more, but you stayed there
Hmm.
until you couldn't anymore.
Yeah.
So now you're out to sea. And it's going to be really tempting to think these places that like you're starting a new job and these things that are happening, you're going to be really tempting to think that those are your landing places, and they are not.
Yeah.
So hold them loosely, enjoy them, like learn to this. What you're going to be doing is learning to practice being present to what's in front of you
Hmm.
and discerning
Okay.
if it's the right thing or not. That's all you're going to be doing for a while is like, what's this opportunity? Okay, I'm learning to discern within myself if it's the right thing or not. I'm learning to take a step back. I'm learning to not get like emotionally invested in terms
Yeah.
of like attachment.
Yeah.
And so it's okay if you need answers for other people to say, yeah, I have a job. Like if you
Yeah.
want, you can do that. It's not, there's no shame in that. But
Yeah.
just know that your internal game, that's not the end.
Yes.
Like that's a thing and you're going to figure out if it's the right thing for you. And you're going to find a bunch of other things that are the right things for you too.
I noticed that this time around. Because I've been doing travel for so long, I haven't needed to submit resumes because my recruiters have been doing those things for me. I
Mhm.
remember going through a couple interviews at the beginning, but then at certain points, they're just auto offers that come through. So you don't even have to talk to a hiring manager before going into your contract. And I applied for about 6 different jobs and I got interviews for 5 of them,
Mm.
and it was and the first one that I did, it was a cardiology position. I love cards. I was really hoping to go back into it, but they offered that was my first interview. I got an offer the next day, but I had so many other interviews lined up and I had to tell them, like, I was like, I feel like young me would have been like, oh my God, it's a job, go for it, say yes, like
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
scared and fearful and making that decision out of fear and not, going through it. But then I spoke with the hiring manager. I was like, hey, I have these other opportunities I wanted to make sure to give ample time towards, like, and consideration. I was like, can I give you an answer within a few days or like the earliest, like next Monday? And they were like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, who is this person? But
Uh-huh.
then I went into
Uh-huh.
the other interviews and like I was able, and I also shadowed all these opportunities as well. So I was able to like sit in there with the vibe and see what connected with me.
Yeah,
And I
that's
came to find,
awesome.
yeah, and the first one, the first interview with cars, I was like, oh, this feels really nice. Like it could be something I could get into. But then, like, the next interview with ortho felt really even better. And I was like, wow, this environment feels really great. And now it's making me think I'm not as interested in as the cardiac position. And then I did a cath lab where one where I was like actually in like their catheterization suites where they do like pacemaker placements or like catheterizations or like heart valve replacements and things like that, and working with
Mhm.
like wearing lead aprons and having a surgical table and everything. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. And just weighing all of that, what energy felt good where, and like discerning what like was right for me. And it was really nice because then I can make a way better informed decision versus an impulsive one, which I feel like old Abby would be a little bit more like, oh, you like me, okay, you like me first, and so I'm going to be here first, versus like actually
Mhm.
giving
And
myself,
establish like some weird loyalty to that. Like,
yes,
yeah. Hmm.
and not selling myself short for something if there was better opportunities too that I like dismissed
Absolutely.
because I was just so excited at the first opportunity, which has
Hmm.
been what the past has been like. But it was like a recognition of like, hey girl, you have 9 years of inpatient hospital experience, like dealing with critical thinking, decision making, working with all walks of life through during all parts of their lives too. I was like, you shouldn't like, there's a lot of good stuff behind her. And then this is me tooting my own horn, but the fact that I got all these interviews and I even got offers from every single one I interviewed for was just like, when I was like the imposter, I was like, are you guys this desperate? But I was also like, wait a minute. You have a lot here that would be able to hop in to provide a lot of great experience with whatever job. So I was like, don't knock yourself short or whatever.
Yeah,
So
and this is an opportunity to feel to understand what that feels like to have opportunities coming to you because
yeah,
that is ultimately how a manifesting generator works. You will magnetize things to you. And
interesting.
sometimes there'll be things that are like that's interesting, but I'm not really feeling it. Sometimes they'll be like wow, this is really the thing I want and I feel that strongly. I'm going to take it now. So, it's coming back to that like you get to be you get to be the ship out there waiting,
Yeah.
like just feeling out what waters you want to be in.
Yeah.
And it's going to be coming in other forms too. Like this was an opportunity that you intentionally opened yourself to, which was finding another position, but it's going to start coming and showing up in other ways. And it's going to be really important. Like the image I'm getting is like a fly that's like coming and you're just like flicking it away.
Yeah.
Um, to like sit with every opportunity, even if it feels annoying in the moment. Like, even if
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so and so is calling me at 8:30 in the morning, like, wow, and just like, wait a minute, is this like genuinely going to impinge on my like morning routine that I enjoy and love, and no thank you to that energy? Or is it like, this could be a curious opportunity? I want to see what's behind the door. Like,
Yeah.
every little thing that comes. It's again, this is a it's two things. It's so we're I don't know how familiar you are with like numerology, but
Not as much, unfortunately.
yeah, it's okay. There's a lot of things out there to pay attention to. They all overlap, so it's really kind of fun to play with the nuances of them. But so in numerology, we move in 9-year cycles, and so um, you can even look at this last year and see how it's like a nine. This was a 9 year, so this is a year of conclusions, wrapping up, like shedding, letting go, so you can start a new cycle next year.
I,
And
yeah.
but I also listened to so it's one cycle is like beginnings and whatnot, but this one person was like, it's also a 10 year, with the zero being infinity or creation or source or however you want to look at that. So it's really co-creation. You and the create and source are creating together. So it's not just beginnings, it's new creations.
Okay.
And like you get to approach that now with, like you said, not just in your job, all the things you've learned in the last 9 years, but personally and evolutionarily, all the things you've picked up in the last 9 years, you get to now co-create something next level for yourself.
Hmm.
So with that, I want to jump in because
Yeah.
there's a lot. I've been pulling cards as we talk,
Okay.
and there's definitely a lot here. um,
I'm looking at the spread right now on the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, I just texted to you. So let's start with the middle one. So the 12 months are from the Gentle Tarot deck.
I like that
And
one from last year too.
yeah, and the middle is her newest deck, which is My Friend Fire. This has been coming up for most of my readings where the year theme wants to be from the fire deck because it is the year of the fire horse.
Right.
So a lot of fire next year. And
Does
just
that like imply a lot of action?
a lot of action, a lot of passion, and a lot of burning off. Like
Okay.
a lot of, so um, I think whatever we were unable to let go of or not willing to let go of in this year of shedding, because it was the year of the snake,
Okay.
whatever we were unwilling to let go of is actually just going to burn off next year, if it's not right for us. And especially if it impinges us in any way from moving toward what we're supposed to be moving toward. Because you need speed and efficiency in a horse energy, and I think the fire is there to be like, nope, not taking that, nope, not taking that. So I think there's still going to be goodbyes in the next year. That might feel confusing because it's like, well, but we're supposed to be at the beginning and we're supposed to be like making new things, but there's still going to be endings.
Right.
And they're going to be really obvious. Like, they're not going to be, shedding something is a different feeling than it burning away, right? Like if
Yeah.
you're shedding it, it's like, okay, I'm like I picture a snake, and it's like the snake knows that they're letting go of something. They're like losing their skin. They like literally slithering out of their last layer of skin. So they feel it all pulling away. And it's actually kind of a slow, gentle process.
Right.
This is going to be a lot harsher feeling
Okay.
because it's just going to be taken from us. Like, it's just, there's going to become a point where you're like, I can no longer go forward with this.
Okay.
It's burning off, it's done. And it's really important to recognize that process, even though it's going to be quick and harsh, because you're not meant to hold on to that thing that's burning away. Like
Okay.
whether it's like a part of your identity, your a coping mechanism, a narrative you move within, a relationship, like maybe this new job, like, it could feel like, but I just got this new job and I went through this really intentional process and like it felt so good. And like one day you might walk in and they're like, you know what, we're reconsidering this and we're restructuring our whole thing. And sorry, we don't have space for you. And I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but
Right,
just that,
right.
like, just to kind
As an
of
example.
remember that it might be something you were really sure of. And like, and just in a moment, it's like, well, shit, it's done. That thing is gone.
Okay.
So that's kind of fire energy versus like this year, where there has been a lot of like letting goes and saying goodbyes. But like, even as you were describing, like your process of coming to, okay, I no longer want to do travel nursing and and definitely not in Seattle. Like, um, you felt it through the year.
It would,
You
yeah.
kind of got the opportunity to like slowly molt that layer. And
Yes.
then you came to it and you're like, oh, I'm not wearing that skin anymore. That's not the right
Yeah.
fit for me. I'm going to go do
Yeah.
something else.
It was definitely
This
a
is going to be
slower,
more
more
like
sluggish
you're going to
process.
wake up on a Thursday and go, shit, I'm not supposed to be doing that anymore. Or I'm not
Okay.
supposed to be X, or this isn't supposed, or I have to like change this narrative about myself because it is really not working. And you're going to like get the tools you need to do that.
Okay.
That's the piece is you'll be resourced. Like that's the part is like you're going to be resourced in whatever this loss is.
Okay.
It is making space for something else, or it's making space for you to be able to move quickly to a different destination.
Okay.
And it's really hard to trust, but your higher self is guiding all of this. And like just like you were saying, like looking back and being like, oh honey, like it's okay. You have to trust that your higher self is wanting to do that to you, this version of you now. Like,
Mhm.
look, babe, it's going to be okay. Trust me. This is the right way to go. You trust me. Like there's so much trust. And it
Okay.
doesn't have to be blind faith like we were, taught in religion. It can be really solid, remembering that your higher self has been guiding you and moving you forward this whole time. And every time they've done a right move by you, like you can lean into that energy, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
So the let's take a look at the center cards. Those are your year themes.
Okay.
And so I'll hold them up here too so we can see them side by side. But
Okay. Yeah.
so
The
this
goals.
was the first one that came through, but this was right behind it.
Okay.
So there's receive is this one, and this is
Okay.
truth.
Receive in truth. Okay. See it.
And what I find really striking about these two is like there's like a semblance of like, okay, receiving is just like peaceful, like beauty. You're gonna like be in your element as a Cancer here, just like in the water, loving, living. And then there's this element which is like emp- empowerment, but also like there's this like sense of falling and this sense of like kind of deep introspection down here. So
Hmm.
truth is not, you're going to be receiving, but truth is not always pleasant. um
Right.
there's a sense of like you're going to have to let go sometimes in order to move into that really big empowered space.
Okay.
And that contradiction feels really, really uncomfortable, if not painful sometimes. Like falling. Nobody wants to feel out of control, right? Especially not our types of personalities. Like we do a lot to make sure our whole world feels like it's within a controllable grasp.
Yeah. It,
This is going to feel like out of control at times.
and these are the themes for the
This
two
is
like major.
the whole year.
Gotcha.
Yep. So again, sometimes it's going to feel like this.
Hmm.
Yee! And then sometimes it's going to feel like this. What the fuck? Like, what
Okay.
the actual fuck? And it's just really important to remember that, again, your empowered self is guiding all of this. So
Yeah.
even when you feel like you're falling, even when you feel like maybe sometimes you're even alone in this
Yeah.
process, like all these versions of you are in the same timeline.
Mm-hmm.
You're all existing together.
Yeah.
And so sometimes this version is being held or caught by this version. This version is being held and comforted by these other versions. Like you're all it I don't I'm getting like real fucking meta on this, but it's like this is the timeline you're stepping into. You are going to start to understand all the versions of yourself in one, and not consciously. Like that's like the part I think that's hardest is like it's not always going to be like deeply conscious. You're not going to be able to sit down with a friend over coffee and be like, man, so the other day I'm just like having this experience. It's
Uh-huh.
more like the being of your existence is going to start to understand, like, wow, I'm hurting, but I'm also being held. And it's
Yeah.
all me. This is
Yeah.
all like coming from me. I'm getting hot just talking about it. So
Yeah. You know.
okay, so big themes for the year, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And I've never had two cards come out in a for a theme. So just know that that's
Oh,
like
that popped out. So that's what was really speaking for me. Yeah, that's
mhm.
interesting. And then like the other thing that popped out was just like the whiteness of the gulls that are like kind of this like
Mhm.
whiter color, and then the red-winged
The dark.
blackbird
Oh
or the
yeah.
tri-winged blackbird on the other side. I don't know, just that juxtaposition of like light and
Hmm.
dark, and
Yeah,
yeah, kind
I'm
of
glad
the
you point
duality
that
of
out
life.
because to me, what that brings up is like, it's the underworld, like our
Yeah.
going into and confronting like your own shadow and your own underworld.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
uh, this is like the image that someone gave for this past month, but I'll share it because it's coming through. Is um, like there's just like this movie from the 90s and I forget, it's called like The Abyss or something. I've never seen it. She gave this example, so if you want to go watch it you can. But basically it was like this guy is like journeying down to like the darkest parts of the ocean to like find the treasure and then like emerging back. And so like kind of just keeping that in mind too, that traveling to our own personal underworlds is a journey of initiation. Like it is an initiation into a bigger, more expansive life. And you want that, or you wouldn't have said no to some of the things that were going to ground you in a certain place this past year. Like
Yes.
you want that. So it's keeping that like, okay, this is a really hard fucking journey with but I want this. But this is really, and being able to hold both things as true.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to admit it's hard. That's the piece. You don't ever have to gloss over that journeying into your own shadow and your own underworld is easy. There's no, that whole Instagram thing, that whole like need to put out only a positive, shiny, happy image. That's old and done. That
Hmm.
is not that. Okay, so like, are you familiar with the like Maiden Mother Crone series? Is this a like a familiar concept?
Yes, I remember you talking about that a little bit last year too, like the archetypes with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I would highly recommend a book called Maiden to Mother. And just to like clarify that it's not mother in the sense, it doesn't have to be literal mom. It's
Hmm.
like mother in the sense of individuated, empowered woman who has gone from the maiden archetype, which is like, hey, everyone's gonna bail me out. I'm just a helpless girl. Like, where's my knight in shining armor? Like, kind of that vibe, like young women traveling all the time. And it is very image driven and it is very, at least in our culture, it is.
Yeah.
Um, but like those girls have no concept, right? Like you look at them and you're just like, God, you have no idea. Wait until your dark night of the soul rolls around, and like you
Yeah.
have to actually like get skills. That's actually where you are now in mother status, period.
Yes.
And
I feel that too internally quite a bit.
you are
Yeah.
taking ownership, you're taking responsibility, you're moving into a space of, and that's not to say you weren't before, but it's just different. And it's ownership and responsibility of your journey and yourself, like your capital S self, versus like ownership and responsibility that the world has put on you, like paying
Mhm.
bills and getting a degree and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like this is like, I'm taking ownership and responsibility of my place in the world and what it means to live into my fullest expression. And in that state, there are many, many, many initiations and portals that you have to move through as you evolve. And it can be dark and sticky and hairy and frustrating and grief ridden. Like, because you are in maiden stage, things happen to you and there's grief in that too. But in mother stage, you actually have to walk your identities up to the burning pile and put them on them.
Hmm.
And you have to do that with choice and intention. And that is a whole other grief. Like that is a whole other layer of letting go because you are doing it for the good of your greater self.
Yeah.
And and it's and some of it is like old maidens shit that comes through where you're like, well, I
Mhm.
used to be this way, or I used to do this. And
Yeah.
we kind of default to those things because it's something that's familiar. This is a portal of like sacrifice in some ways, but not the kind of sacrifice that we get like applauded for, which is like the sacrifice of who we are. This is sacrifice of things we thought we were and we aren't.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Okay.
like grief in releasing that, but I feel like there's also like freedom in releasing that too. Like
Absolutely. There's so much freedom on the other side. So
I-
much freedom.
I've
But
been,
the old mechanisms of maidenhood that tell us we can't be those things, that we can't be grieved, that we can't be like unkempt, that we can't be wild and feral, those are the parts that are can be really hard to like really hard to navigate. So
hmm,
there's a lot of freedom on the other side. Absolutely.
yeah,
That's like that's something you have to hold on to. And sometimes those temptations of old patterns can keep us from moving through the hard part because it's like, oh man. So this is something I've been working through like as I'm building a business is like there's a lot of messaging out there that's like if you just sign up for my program and you do it this way in 6 months you're going to be making six figures and here's what it's going to look like.
yeah,
And it's really tempting. Like
yeah,
because you think the desire is like the six figures,
yeah,
but the desires are actually way deeper than that. And but this offer doesn't match those things. It matches the surface things. And
yeah,
so you're like, well, oh man, but this is like maybe I should just do this. And like what I had to like step back and process was there's no shortcut. There's
yeah.
actually no shortcut. Anyone selling you a shortcut is that's
Not
what
making,
they're making six figures off of is your desire to shortcut the journey.
right.
There's no actual shortcut. And
Hmm.
that's I think this is your reminder right here. This guy.
Yeah, yeah,
Like this is your reminder. There's no shortcut. Sometimes you're going to have to go through the portal of grief and you're going to have to sacrifice the things that you thought were once really really important to you, but you know for your greater good they're not, and that is just dark as fucking shit. And I'm not trying to harp on that part, but the tendency is to want to go, but there's a lot of freedom on the other side. Yeah, there is, but you need to start preparing yourself, your current self, to move through some dark things. And the old mechanism is to dangle the end carrot in front of you. Like,
yeah,
okay, right, like you're going through college and you're like, but I'm going to be a nurse someday, like,
right.
so I can get through the hard things. That doesn't work anymore.
Hmm,
That's not
okay.
going to work anymore. This kind of initiation is actually pre-preparing for that. So now you're starting to go, okay, there's going to be some things I'm going to let go of this year. You don't know what they are. You don't have to guess. That's not the point. The point is to start telling yourself, hey, there's going to be some things I'm going to have to let go of this year. It's going to be really, Christy said it's going to be really hard.
Yeah,
what, like, what things do I need to put in place? Maybe it's like, maybe I need to reevaluate how I'm taking care of myself. Maybe I need to
yeah,
reevaluate my environment. Maybe I need to reevaluate like just my mental approach to things. Am I
Yeah.
looking at my day as like, oh, but after work, I get to do this thing? Like, am I doing the dangly carrot thing to myself all the time to
Yeah.
get through my days? Or am I actually moving through my days with presence and intention? Like that kind of work, if you start to do that work now, that kind of work will support you really well when those moments hit. Because when those moments hit, you don't have to fucking scramble. You can
Right.
just walk into them.
Right. I'm writing that down.
All right. I
Mm.
promise we're going to move into the month
Yeah. No.
cards.
No. This is all good. All good
There's a
information.
lot of
And
stuff coming through. I spend some time ahead of my readings, like asking for the you're anyone in the spiritual realm that's like in your corner and is in your corner, has a loving relationship with you, which means that they are like they want what's best for you in the end, not in the sense of like what I think that gets tangled up into like our human relationships where people are like, I just want what's best for you, and they're mean, or they are too allowing or whatever. This is more like they really are helping you on your path in a real way.
Mhm.
So anyway, I ask like what wants to come through, and then I kind of shore up my folks too, to just be like, hey, you guys sit there, keep me from venturing off into something I don't need to. And
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, here we are. It's big stuff coming through.
Yeah.
Okay. So January, we've got the Seven of Thunder.
That was my November too, when I was
Oh,
like,
was it?
it was my November. Yeah, when I was like,
Oh
nope,
shit.
turning around, driving back cross country, gonna figure it out as I go home because I know. So when I was listening to that and I saw November was the Seven of Thunder and I heard your words from last recording, I was like, oh my God. Like it was like just big, big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. That was just,
No, you're no, it's
starting out
great. That's
January
it's
with
I
that.
mean, it's all very fluid, right? Like there's no real boundaries on this stuff. It bleeds in and out. Um and okay, so generally speaking in this specific tarot, thunder is it correlates with swords in the traditional tarot, and that is usually like thoughts, communication, words, and there's like so the oh man, I just forgot what cat this was. I was going to say Lyra, but that's not right.
Links.
Lynx, thank you.
Yeah.
um So he's looking backwards. And so just be wary of like your thoughts that feel like uh, maybe what's behind me is how I get notes for what's ahead of me. Like maybe what's behind me has answers for me. Maybe what's behind me is more appealing.
Yeah, that was a thought of mine. Like, am I going to regret what I'm doing? I don't feel that yet, but I feel like there are parts of me that might creep in and be like, you could be in Seattle looking at mountains right now,
Mm-hmm,
living the city and having access to all the things and
mm-hmm.
all the things that like kept it so appealing to me for so long.
Yep.
That's a
Yeah.
thought that popped in was like looking back and oh, did I make the right decision? But nothing in me so far has felt like that. But I'm only just starting out too.
Right. Yeah. And you're going to be encountering different coworkers, and you're going to be encountering different demographics of people.
Hmm.
So just keeping that in mind too, that like this is all part of the path, and what's behind you isn't necessarily better. And it
Yes.
also doesn't really inform where you're going. Like even when you were kind of processing like the process of moving, and I think it is an interesting like parallel that you have 2 months really close to one another with the same themes,
Hmm.
because I think there's a tie to that of like, well, when I was processing leaving, here's the things I was thinking about. And like now I'm in this new setting that is its own capsule, like its own time capsule. November is its own experience. A chat is a different chapter, right?
Yeah, books.
This is a
Yeah.
new chapter. You have some similar themes rolling through it,
Hmm.
but it's important that you let it be its own thing and not try to like let not try to make what happened in the past be a framework for what happens now. And the reason I think that it's coming up is because it's very hard to be unmoored. It's very hard. Like you are, it's like you were once kind of cozy and tucked in into an idea, and
Mhm.
now you're like, shit, it's like the sea, the ship out at sea has a very different experience than the ship in the harbor.
Yeah.
And so like you can look at like third November was like, okay, I'm gonna leave my harbor. And
Yeah.
that had its own set of like dilemmas and questions, but now you're not in the harbor at all.
Hmm.
So if you try to look back and compare those two situations, it will never, it will make what you're experiencing now so confusing and frustrating, hard. It's unnecessary suffering,
Yeah.
essentially, if you don't take what you're experiencing now as it is.
Okay. And that's a practice in mindfulness, right? Just being
Absolutely.
present and
Absolutely. And so there's like, that's like the daily nitty gritty mindfulness, right? Like
yeah,
having some kind of daily practice of mindfulness. And then there's like big picture mindfulness where you sit with a big picture and are like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but
yeah,
right now I have to put my clothes on. And like reconciling those two realities. Like big picture, I don't know what's going on. I am out to sea. It is like foggy. I don't know what's ahead of me.
hmm,
But underneath I have the guys down below putting coal in the fire. Like
yeah,
that's all, that's where I am. I'm trying
yeah.
to like, and there's only going to there's going to be very few people who understand this when you talk to them. That's
Okay,
going to be the hard part, and it's the part that social media glosses over because social media can't actually handle these kind of concepts. Like it is why we share only the happy, whatever shiny versions, because when you sit down and you're like, I actually don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm putting one foot in front of the other, they're going to be like, you need therapy, which I mean, everybody does, but like
right.
they're not going to be able to hold that concept of like, yeah, I've been there. Like very few. That's the thing about like the maiden mother crone journey is that our culture emphasizes staying in the maiden version of
Right,
ourselves.
right.
It like forces us there. So you're going to find fewer and fewer people have made the journey out of that. It's why you
Mhm.
find very few people who are 60 plus who can understand what you're going through because
Yeah,
they haven't actually ever journeyed out of maidenhood even as they age.
yeah,
So just like keeping that in mind, like it's not so much that like your support system is shrinking, but the people who understand what you're going through is going to start to thin out.
okay.
Like, so if you feel misunderstood, it's true. People don't understand.
Yeah,
And this might be people who once you felt like super comfortable and understood by are going to be sitting across from you and just being like, I just don't know. I don't have any answers for you. I don't have any guidance for you right now. And that's part of the initiation process too, is learning to stand on your own fucking 2 feet. Like to be confident that you're moving through something you don't understand
yeah,
and that doesn't mean anything. Like that's not a reflection of you. That
right.
doesn't mean that you're crazy. That doesn't mean that you made a mistake. That doesn't mean that you like somehow need to like get to shore just to like feel stable.
Mhm.
You are self-stabilizing as you go.
Yeah,
Yeah. This has like been a pattern for myself too, and I think it's why it's like there's so much emphasis on it is like I have tried to anchor myself to people and things because being on this journey has scared the shit out of me.
yeah,
And I was like, that video I shared with you, that whole thing, I was trying to anchor myself to that person without realizing it. It was
yeah,
like a way to get through my day, to capture parts of my day that felt important or special. It was an excuse, really. And just be wary of where that's happening. Like we're still kind of on January, but like I feel like this is just kind of a general guidance too, is like beware of where you're trying to anchor yourself to things that feel safe to you,
Hmm.
but might
Yeah.
actually be holding you back.
Okay. I know, I'm
Okay.
just trying to think if there's anything I can think of right now. Because if anything, I feel like I was not anchored by much for a long time. It was kind of, I felt like I was like tossed in the current of like what I was thinking or feeling, or like maybe that was travel for me. And now I'm
Well, it can
really,
be an identity and it can be an idea or an attitude or a narrative. Like it can
mhm.
be, it can be just the narrative of like, but I have to make money and this is the best way.
Okay, yeah, I was anchored to that forever. And that being like, well, I need to prove myself as a human of worth by like bringing in the most finances, because finances or being financially secure is something that like makes me feel like I'm making it, and
Mhm.
like that I'm not
And then you have
vulnerable
to
as a
like,
female.
part of this work too is to keep peeling back that layer. Like whose
Hmm.
narrative is that? Yeah, it's a
Right.
societal narrative, but where did it come from personally? Whose voice, when I'm like isolating that voice, whose voice is that?
Definitely knows my
And it's,
dad's.
yeah, so like coming to understand those connection points, those are the anchors.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So when you peel back and you're like, whose idea is this? And you look at it and you're like, wow, that was how my dad communicated to me that I had to show him I was worth something.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that's your anchor. That's your
Yeah,
like you get to pull that up now. You
right,
get to say
right.
like I don't need that to hold me. I'm
Mhm.
actually not that's not stabilizing me anymore because
Right.
I stabilize myself. And that's a lot of inner child work, right? Like those kind of anchors to our family narratives. Um and so it's not so much like you're just like literally pulling up anchor. It's more like you're going to that part of yourself and giving them the things they needed that they didn't get from that particular, like there's a reason they anchored to that, and
Yeah,
it's because they needed something and didn't get it.
yeah.
Yeah. And that this is partly where I'm like, yeah, everybody needs therapy because we're all like trying
Yes.
to do that work
Right, right.
ongoing.
Everybody, literally everybody, we can all benefit from it.
All right, in
Um,
February we've got the root of stones,
Root of stones.
and so this little desert flower. Um, so
Is it
the
poking
stone
around
stones
at you?
correlate to like the material world. So and the root is like the root is kind of like the page in the original tarot. So it's a there's like
Gotcha.
it's definitely
So this would be like Page of Pentacles.
yes,
Okay.
yes, exactly. Yep.
Gotcha.
Um so there's kind of this like the page energy is like apprentice, right? Like you're learning under the masters. Um and what I love about it being in the desert is like there's this sense of like I think so. I've been holding this card while I've been saying all this stuff. So I think it like actually kind of translates to more of like the February timeframe, but
Hmm.
it is that sense of like feeling like you are out in the desert. You're like, I have no what am I doing here? There's a sense of no companionship. It's not true, but there's a sense of that.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm like, you don't you're not going to like see this tangibly, but you are apprenticing to like the masters, like really it's your higher self that you're apprenticing to, like you're under their wing and they're teaching you their ways. And the beauty is you are blooming. Like there's this juxtaposition of like feeling very left to dry, like left to hang,
Okay.
but actually it's the exact environment that you need for parts of you to open up.
Okay. My thought is like flocking to like I'll be like a month into my job too. I'm thinking like career stuff. Like I keep getting flashes of career stuff where I'm going to be in a new environment, like kind of really out of my element. And like, how am I going to show up? Like, how am I going to adapt and adjust? But I want to also to be on, I mean, that probably connects into the other major theme of like myself in general, my like being
Yeah. Yeah.
versus just making
So
it about one thing, like my career. or my
Exactly.
new
So
job, new
here's the
role.
deal. This next year, your career is going to shift dramatically.
Okay. Yeah.
That's it. That's what you need to know about your career.
Okay.
That's
And then
it.
just let it.
This is your entire environment,
Okay.
your internal environment, your external environment, all of the choices therein, like
Okay.
the entirety of you. This is
Okay.
not just like, it's really tempting to be like, man, where
Put
am
it
I
in
going to be in February? And like try to picture it. Don't
and give
worry
it
about that.
associations already. Yeah. Yeah.
This is not about individual like circumstances. This is the whole damn thing.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
big picture shit.
I'll
And
keep that
again,
theme in
remember,
mind.
this is the start of the year of the horse.
Okay. Yeah.
It starts at the end of January, early February. I think February like 7th or something is the Chinese New Year.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
um nothing gets nothing's gonna look the same. Nothing.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
of course there'll be elements. You're not gonna like it's not gonna be like you're just like literally out in the desert and you don't, but it will feel like that. It will feel very much like you don't recognize your life anymore.
Okay. Okay. Big things, big themes. Whew.
Yeah, but it's the other piece though about it being the root, what's why it's not the page and it's the root, is that you're actually are rooted in.
Okay.
Like that's an important part. Like you are rooted in. You
Hmm.
are not you're not flailing through the ether and no one's going to find you. Like you're
Yeah.
rooted in. You just feel absolutely gutted is the word that's coming through. So just
Gotcha.
this is again, I think, why that whole thing came through of like prepare yourself because
Hmm.
you're about to go through a really powerful initiation.
Okay.
And it's letting go of the job being the center thing that you're envisioning for your future.
Okay.
That's one
Yeah.
part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Noted. I also like thinking about those desert flowers, how deep those roots dive down to be able to reach water and like nutrients to like thrive in
Mhm.
such a
Mhm.
desolate area and to, still be there like hundreds of years later.
Yeah, so on that note, like what do you need to be tapping into right now to get ready? Like
Yeah.
do you need to get like a rhythm? Do you need to get a therapist? Do you need to, what do these
Yeah.
pieces look like where you're able to root down so that when you go through this, you're not feeling
Right.
you're not actually alone. You're
I
going to
do
go to your therapist every day, every session and be like, I'm so fucking alone. But you're
have.
not because you're obviously with someone,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
going to feel lonely. Like that's, yeah.
Okay.
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 Here's kind of your reward for that is March.
Okay.
You see how she's
Oh,
like,
yeah. She's riding on the back of the bald eagle.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
This is what you mean. This is what you were referring to as freedom on the other side. Like that is
Gotcha.
it is again not meant to be like a dangling carrot, but it is a natural consequence of going through portals is that you will like feel like you have new wings. And I'm going to point this out because this comes up like in a few other cards is like her arms like it's hard to
Oh,
see but
yeah. They're like
yeah.
spread eagled out, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And this
She's letting
position,
go a little bit, but
yeah,
still.
energetically this position means that your heart is open.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a breaking open that's going to be happening just before that so that you actually feel like your heart can be opened.
Okay. Okay. Noted.
All
One.
right, April is 5 of Wands.
Okay. See what the two bears at the top.
A little bit of internal conflict happening here.
Okay.
um
Let's see.
it's not like I'm not getting the sense that it's like super meaningful. It's just an experience.
Okay.
Like, and it probably it's because it doesn't feel super intense because of what you've been through.
Okay.
So I think it honestly is kind of a reframing of how you've navigated internal conflict before. Like,
Okay.
and Um,
Yeah, because my just thinking about how I navigated it last year with the slow burn and the shedding, not slow burn, but like the slow shedding of things, and how it very much felt like I didn't have answers. And it was just like lingering indecision for an entire
mhm.
year until it was like, no, decision is like now finally made.
Yeah, and also just like I get the sense that in the past it's been like you let those bears go at each other. Like you let them like really tear each other apart before you came to a conclusion.
Yeah.
And it's not that way anymore. They're considering each other.
Okay.
There's a sense of like, do I, don't I? But I'm not, in the end, I'm not going to. I don't need to tear myself apart anymore when there's an
Yeah.
internal conflict. I can let the two things exist.
Okay.
Um, and so again, it's going to feel more, it's going to feel so much more peaceful, honestly. Like you're not going to have to feel like you have to like fight to the death to see which one comes through.
Okay.
That's an old way. Now
That's
it's like
yeah.
I'm going to consider these things and I get
Yeah.
a say in it. So I'm going to choose. I'm going to let them exist, both exist and maybe, yeah, okay, that's I'm going like into some other territory, but
Yeah.
internal conflict is going to feel different and it doesn't have to
Yeah.
end in a bloody battle.
Yeah, and approaching this year too, there was like I was like the themes of freedom, like not being bound by things anymore, and that's like particular patterns of thought that used to do the things that they would do all the time, like not needing to people please, not needing to perform anymore.
Mhm.
Like I was very much about performance because I felt it validated my worth. If people are like, "Oh, look at what you're doing, it's worthy," like
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
must be worthy, and that was like very much a like look at me, like look at what I'm doing, look
Right.
at
Right.
and letting go of that and not that not being any kind of fixation frame for me anymore because it's not important and it's not what I want like my energy to go to. And also like I finally feel like I don't have to prove anything to anybody except for
Mhm.
myself. Like
Mhm.
I'm done with like performing and people pleasing and
So, so
yeah.
what I'll say to that is all still theoretical for you.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of this year is going to be embodying those ideas.
Keeping those close and yeah, and reminding
No,
myself of
no,
those
moving them
things.
from your head into your being. Like
Hmm.
it's it's it it's hard to understand. It's hard for me to explain that to you now, but you're gonna sit down in a year and you're gonna be like, I know what she fucking meant by that. Like
Yeah.
it's those are all really good. It's good. You're changing the narrative of your thoughts and your
Yes.
ideas. And this whole year is going to be about you actually walking those
Yeah.
out
Living those changes. Yeah. Living those
mhm,
ideas into it.
into
Yeah.
your
And I'm
being.
like,
So
I
it won't
want
be
my,
something you have to talk about anymore because people just know that about you.
okay. Yeah.
Um,
My thoughts are how am I going to be able to do that? How can
yeah,
I
you don't need
transition?
to worry about that.
You need to worry about that
It's
either.
coming
Okay.
for you. The only
Okay.
thing you need to worry about is like imagine you're going on a trip and you don't know where you're going. And
Okay.
you're going to be preparing yourself to go on a trip. So like think about all the tangible things you need to do. Think about like maybe it is a daily meditation that you need to start practicing. Me like
Mhm.
something to get yourself ready. You don't know what it's going to be like yet. You
Okay.
just can't and you don't need to worry about that. Like
Gotcha. Okay.
none of that. So much of this like work, so much of these like readings is like even if you never went back and looked at your reading, it's more about you're exposing your consciousness, like your above ground consciousness to something that your subconscious is already aware of.
Okay.
That's all we're doing here. So it's why your conscious is kind of like, wait, what? Like, don't worry about it. Your subconscious knows, and it is like getting you ready on a conscious level.
Okay.
You don't have to have all the answers
Okay.
though.
I know, and control person me wants all the
I
answers, so
know,
she can be
I
prepared.
know, I know. This is a different kind of preparing, and it's unfortunate but true that you'll understand after the fact what that means.
Gotcha.
Um, have you read Women Who Run with the Wolves?
It's a work in progress. I have it, I own it, it's here, and it's just like kind of digesting it bit by bit.
Okay, great.
But I haven't read the whole thing.
Okay, keep working through that. That's
Okay.
one of your tools.
Okay.
All
All
right.
right.
Eight of Cups
That's for
is May.
June. May. Sorry, that's for May. Okay.
Yeah, May. This is a quiet one. Um, it's gonna feel like, I mean, so cups are emotions. You're a Cancer. This is like, it looks like the sun, but honestly, I think it's giving moon vibes.
Or setting sun, maybe?
Or setting sun, yeah,
Yeah.
something to that
Yeah.
effect. But there is just, there's a quiet confidence growing here
Okay.
of like moving through as yourself, moving through the world as yourself. Um, there's still a little bit of a crack in that veneer. Like you can kind of see the on the side, she's got like a little
Oh, yeah,
scar
I see
line
that.
or a break.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not smooth walking necessarily. It's not going to feel like you're just going to wake up one day and be like, I feel confident. But you're going to
Yeah.
notice as you move through the world, even with the hitches, like the hitch in your giddy up. Like, have you ever heard that phrase?
Yeah.
Such an Indiana thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
hitch in my giddy up. Um, Even with those little spots where you feel like, oh man, I'm just like getting caught, or I'm catching myself, or I'm just not walking as smoothly, you're still going to notice the confidence bubbling underneath, like that it's like slowly rising through you.
Hmm.
So I think this month is actually meant to be, um, it's kind of meant to be one of those like, uh, it's a special moment between you and your higher self.
Okay.
And like, not a lot of people are going to see it, and you
Hmm.
don't need them to, because you're having this like quiet moment of recognition, like of just like, huh, I'm capable of getting through that. It's possible that I could be just fine. Like, and it's just gonna feel really quiet and peaceful, honestly. Like
Yeah.
yeah, not a lot to say about that one, because I don't think there is going to be a lot for you to say, even when you're reflecting on it in hindsight. I think you're just going to feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if that's like that quiet conversation between like me and my higher self that's occurring too, like I guess there wouldn't be as much need for stuff said around it since it's within or silently transpiring. I don't know. No.
I think you just don't need to worry about it.
Okay.
I think it's more of a noticing. Like
Noticing.
it's just going to be a noticing. Like, uh,
I love that you're reminding me of that. Like you don't need to worry about that. So, and I'm
yeah,
like
you
writing
don't.
notes. I'm like, what's May? I'm
What am I
just like,
doing next?
I'm preparing for the test. I want to get an A plus because this is what I can control. Like,
Don't worry.
it's so funny.
Don't you worry. There's going to be more. Um, there's at least one more initiation that you'll go through in the year. But I would say that the thing is about these things is like, it has felt in the years past like you've been maybe that you've been like hit by wave after wave of uncertainty, or like not, not knowing what to do next, or how do I, it's not going to be like that. There's two main initiations in this year. And they are, uh the spaces in between are adequate preparation and adequate recovery.
Okay.
That's what you need to be aware of. So when I say it's a quiet month, then it's just like things are, but there's a reason for that. There's a
Okay.
reason that for that, and you don't need to make more or less of it than it is.
Okay.
Just like accept the gift of quiet peace.
Okay.
And
Noted.
maybe that feels new, so it will be a little uncomfortable. But
Yeah. Yeah, because it's been very much go or like, what's around this corner? What's around this corner? But like sitting in
yeah.
a
So
space.
keep in mind that that was driven by a narrative that doesn't, like, that isn't right for you. And
Yeah.
that can often feel why it's like harder than it needs to be. You're
Okay.
in this month, you're going to be moving into a space that is actually not harder than it needs to be. It's actually it's going to be a new feeling. So like I said, it might feel uncomfortable in that respect, but the only I would say challenge is to just accept it for what it is
Okay.
and don't question don't you don't need to question it. And I don't think you will. I think that's the beauty. You're going to be having gone through so many different things that by this point you will be able to welcome it as a gift. You will be able to see it. Maybe not every minute of the day, but like
Mhm.
you're going to look back at that over a week and be like, "Oh man, I'm so grateful I didn't have any of this old stuff that I used to carry." Like I'm
Yeah.
just yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Okay.
like I've already been noticing that as I've transitioned back here, like the things that I've kind of let go of being front and center for me, and how nice it is
Yeah.
to not be chained to that as much, or chained to those ideas as much,
Yeah.
or letting those ideas, they stopped validating me actually a while ago, and I just
Yeah.
kept doing it.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be like, just untether and watch it like float away from me, kind of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Let's go to June. I want to,
Okay.
I'm realizing like what time it is. So I'm going to
Oh, sorry.
probably,
Yeah, I
no, it's
know.
okay. I just want
It's
to,
nice hanging out with you, but yeah, I've got to do after this too.
I know. Okay. 6 of Cups.
Okay. Twin energy there, huh?
Hmm. Yeah, definitely twin energy. Reflective energy too.
Reflective.
So with cups, so interesting because cups is still the emotions. And
Mhm.
um this one I want to bring out the book for because I feel like there's something there for us.
Yeah, pertaining to like the particular flowers, or yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to
symbolism.
read this because it feels like all of this is pertinent for the month of June. Here we invite innocence and simple pleasures into our life. By connecting with our inner child, we reopen a love stream with our roots and return to our source, the infinite love space from which we came, fulfilled by the air we breathe and the breeze on our skin. Surrender yourself to the elements. Feel the earth under you. Let cold water spark life into your being. Enjoying experiences like these that are literally timeless to human history is your birthright.
Hmm.
This is a direct connection to your ancestors. There is grounding in the simplicity, sacred healing waters. Thankful for fresh air and thankful to be here. I hope we all allow ourselves the energy of this card, even if it's in a single skip added to our step. So, a few themes kind of popping out here for me that have been tying into the other parts of this year. One, it talks about our roots, um, and this being like a direct connection to our ancestors. So there's almost like there's this really interesting expansion that's happening here. And I think
Hmm.
it's just an expansion of awareness. Like you're becoming more aware of not just your, like, if we think about like the timeline of which I'll just say, I don't think that time is linear, but if we think about the timeline and we use that as a plant reference, like our ancestors came before us, they help us root in. Our children, our theoretical children, and that can be your inner child too, because you're essentially reparenting them. So you're reviving them.
Okay.
There are the flowers, they're our future, and we are the stalks in this like
Huh.
analogy.
Okay.
And so there's almost like a sense of like you've been the stock. You've been a really good stock. Like you grew the plant and you're like, I'm here. I'm holding it down. I got my job. I got my place to live. Like, and it's like your awareness is expanding like this. Like, oh, I am here because of who came before me, and I'm going to develop a relationship with them. And I'm meant to leave a legacy, which is like what I'm doing and growing, like all my babies in the world, like whether it's your inner child or your outer creations. And so there's just this awareness of like you,
Hmm.
and don't try to make sense of that right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I know that the sense will come later too upon reflection, which is what I really enjoyed about re-referencing our reading as I had gone through those months. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
Okay. So also, just know like get outside, do that, like whatever, maybe you do like a solo retreat or something that month, like to
Okay.
give
Yeah, that's my
yourself more
birthday month.
space. Yeah.
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 So,
So maybe this year your birthday is you, like just
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Go out in the woods, put your feet in the water,
Yeah.
um, redefine how you celebrate yourself.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay.
July.
Shall I?
We have the Five of Thunder.
Is that a beaver?
I think it's not a beaver. I think it's a fox.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, the dark tail looked like a beaver. I was like, why are they climbing on a hill? Don't they dam water?
Okay,
Five of
so
thunder.
yeah,
I
so like this is like so again, thunder being, thoughts, ideas, whatnot. This is kind of what I was saying about like taking those old identities to the fire yourself.
okay.
This is like this is the step toward that. This
Okay.
is like, okay, I'm here on the side of this, like it's dark. I'm on the side of a mountain, and these thoughts, these ideas are not serving me. I
Okay.
need I need a support to help me let go of them.
Okay.
And that's what our little fox is. So you
Yeah.
could look at like if you want that month, don't worry about doing it now because it's not something you need at this moment, but like look at what fox energy or fox medicine represents.
Okay.
It's usually pretty easy to find online. There's also a book called Animal Speaks.
Okay.
I don't have it down here. I would show you the cover. I think Angie has it. So,
Okay. I can reference it from her, borrow it from her.
but it's like animal spirit medicine.
You said animal speaks.
Animal
Maybe it's at the
Speaks. I think
library.
it's Animal Speaks. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me look that up just in case.
Yeah, I have one that's pertaining to birds, like what bird medicine is and like the bird energy when you see like
Animal Speak, and it's by Ted Andrews.
Ted Andrews. Got it.
Yeah. Just note Fox for that month, for July. And
I kind of
yeah.
about foxes, just random side note, has nothing to do with anything. I love that the way they look is not how they sound when they actually
Yeah.
like exert a cry. You're just like, and it's so its own thing that's just like what the yeah, but it's like it's a fox and it's like a shrill scream that you're just like, oh my god, this like little fluffy thing has like this nightmarish terrifying sound, and I kind of love that because it's
Mhm.
like, you look at a book expecting something and you open it and you're like, whoa, something totally different inside, and the fox
Okay. So super
speaking like that.
metaphorical, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
Right. You think it's a thing and then you open it up and it's something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just that's your journey, right? Like you're opening up yourself.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I was expecting this one thing, but what is underneath? Like, what am
Yeah.
I opening up to? So maybe Fox medicine is something you look up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will do that once we get done.
I feel like I feel like I need to give you some things to keep your hands busy.
Yes. I like to do lots of things.
You're like,
I
oh,
was like,
just get me something to read, damn it.
no, I like the homework and the researching it. Gosh, sometimes I'm like, oh, social media. I just get off the phone, like get off the scrolling because then I'll be like, okay, now I can focus on the 20 things I want to do versus the 300 things distracting me, making me think I want to do all these things too.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
I'm right there with
this
you.
Yeah, because I get so inspired when I'm on there, but then I'm like, my attention span is a goldfish right now, and now I have like all of these ideas bludgeoning everywhere, and it's too much, it's too complicated, and then I do nothing because I've been scrolling for 6 hours. So it's
Yeah.
like
Are you familiar with morning pages? Is that a
morning
concept
pages.
you're familiar with?
No, I don't think so.
So there's an author named Julia Cameron. She wrote a book called The Artist Way,
Okay.
and it's basically I don't think you need to do the whole artist way. That doesn't feel applicable to you. But the one of the tools that she used is called morning pages, and it's just first thing in the morning. Don't, the goal is to not do anything else. You just like literally wake up, you sit down with your a pen and paper, and you write 3 pages, stream of consciousness.
Okay.
You don't edit, you don't criticize, you don't judge.
Okay.
And you also don't look at it to be like anything other than a practice. So it doesn't have to be. I've had some people who are like, well, do you get like ideas? And I'm like, every now and then I get an idea. Mostly I'm just cleaning out the gutters so that creativity and other things through the days flow better.
Nice.
It can be a really helpful practice for just this brain dump. Like just wake up, brain dump, start your day fresh.
Okay.
And the reason I bring it up is because it has been pointing out to me how uncomfortable that is, and how I use my phone and social media to deny and ignore the needs of my body. So like I
Yeah.
wake up, I have to pee really bad.
Yeah.
But I'll get on my phone and I'll be on there for a half hour, 45 minutes because I'm
And you
just like,
forget that you need to pee. You distract yourself away from
yeah.
it.
But then I
Yeah.
sit down to do my morning pages, and that's all I talk about for 3 pages is how bad I have to pee or how hungry I am. So the point there is, I think, incorporate practices that actually bring your awareness back to your situation
Hmm.
versus practices that take you away from it.
Away. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to keep moving steadily
Keep
along.
trucking. Yeah.
Okay. August is the Ace of Stones.
Okay. I remember getting that pulled for my last one of the I think it was like my March or February or something from
Mm.
last year.
Yeah, this is like again another really expansive card. Like
Yeah. Aces are beginnings, yeah.
aces
Like,
are beginnings, but there's like also the sense of like you have the whole world in your hands. You just have to reach for it. That's
yeah.
like that's like the big lesson is ooh, and also I just got this like there's I just as I was looking at it from the camera angle, this looks like there's like a hand here and it's like pulling, like stretching out the background.
Oh wow.
And I know it's not like those are like planets or something, but it looked
Yeah.
just like in a flash, it looked like hands pull.
Okay.
So there's also this sense of like
I
you're
know that.
also creating the whole environment that you're in. Like, and that's a gift. Like out
Yeah.
of you get to create it out of space. Like you get to decide what is your background. What
Yeah.
it's such a different like feeling from February where your background is controlled. Everything you're
Huh.
rooted in, which means you don't have a lot of options here. But I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
you've done the work up to this point so that by the time you get to this part of the year, um, it's it is uh you might not even you might have to recognize that you're doing it, and then but you're doing it automatically. Like it's just the natural flow of
Okay.
this path that you're on, that you will get to a point, and even if it's not specifically in August, you will get to a point where it feels like you're creating the world you want to be in.
I
And
like that.
yeah, right. That's the
Yeah.
gift. That's the
Yeah.
gift.
That's exactly why I that's exactly what I want from this year from my life, like to create the environment that makes me happy and feel fulfilled and expansive and yeah,
It's
having
coming.
room to grow and
Yeah.
cuz like I want to root right now. I don't want to be, a butterfly. I want to like have these really strong tree roots that just like go up and like become taking kind of everything I am, all the nutrients, all the experiences and resources that just like make me, yeah,
Yeah.
go outward, but also still, yeah, expanding, expansive. That's just the
Mhm.
word that repeats over and over. While like being grounded and yeah, and having those like deep roots within myself versus like, I don't know, am I this kind of tree? Am I that kind of tree? Which was like, for so long, I didn't know what kind of tree I was because I didn't know what kind of voice I had or what opinions,
Yeah.
like were really my own or driven from other people that I
Mhm.
was like realizing I was doing it for and denying my inner voice during.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. And that's the next. Oh, okay. Oh, is that the.
This is October.
Okay, that's October. Oh, okay. Oh, that's a salmon. That's a salmon that's getting ready to spawn because all those scales are off of it.
Mm.
It's like cyclical, right?
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
feels like the food web. Like the fish is here, the bird gets the fish, and like it's the is it? Oh, it is the world. I was like, the wheel keeps on spinning.
I'm like, yeah, just you keep going, you'll get to it.
I'll get there eventually.
So this is actually also the theme, like the tarot theme
Wow.
for the year. Yes, this year is the year of the hermit. Now this next year is the world card.
Okay. Wow.
Um,
Okay. This is
so you're tapping
September.
into some of the, I would say, the communal energy that's happening
Okay.
during this time. And also, just to note, like her arm placement. So the other one was like, okay, I'm feeling the breeze, right? Her arms were spread wide. The arm placement on this is I am the other one was like, okay, I release, I let go, heart
Yeah.
forward. This is I accept what is.
Okay.
And that is not to say I accept negative, like the shit as it is. It's to say there's an embracing here.
Okay.
And it is, and I think it is coming back to, like you mentioned, all the cyclical stuff, but you also, you notice the salmon is about to spawn. Like there's a sense of like, um,
Completion? No.
planting new seeds.
Planting new seeds. Okay.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
spawning is, they're releasing eggs. They're letting those eggs, those babies out into the world. There's
Huh.
a, um, yeah, and then we have the bald
Okay.
eagle and you're, so it's like you having these like moments, these highs and lows. This is a month of balance.
Okay.
Um and it's like balance means it doesn't always mean that the teeter-totter stays at one line. It means you're
Yeah.
able to be on the teeter-totter the whole time. Like
Okay.
you're able to stay, whether you're high and low, you're able to take all of those with a certain level of equanimity. Like I'm able to accept that my journey has highs. I'm able to accept that my journey has lows. I move through those fluidly because I trust that they all come back around for my greater good.
Okay. Okay.
Um, so this could be kind of similar to the Eight of Cups, where it's like just like a quiet confidence of moving toward it and like moving toward deeper and greater acceptance.
Okay.
And I just want to say again, it's not like what your mind right now is going to do is really like, whoa, but I don't want to accept X, Y, and Z because that's what I'm trying to get away from. Or it's not that. It's accepting you. It's accepting your journey. That's the acceptance. And it's like,
Okay.
and there's even like as you come into awareness of it for yourself, there's then you see the awareness of it in other people. Like, oh, okay, I see that they're on a journey and they're kind of before me, they're kind of behind me,
Yeah.
maybe that place shifts sometimes and changes. And it's also an acceptance that sometimes people are on their journey and it's not your journey.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
um
Right.
right, so they get to be on their journey, but that doesn't mean you have to be close to
Yeah.
it.
I feel like I've been noticing that too. Like the work I've done on myself. And then when you see somebody that's maybe not working on themselves or understanding that they have work to do, but they may not realize it yet. And just like not that I'm trying to like say like, oh, I'm better because I'm more enlightened, but just like noticing the
Notice.
journeys, the individual journeys of everyone and how absolutely different they can be,
Right.
how they can be similar sometimes. And like, yeah, and also like a space to hold for that that feels kindness versus like, well,
Right.
screw you, you just like yelled at me and cut me off in traffic. I mean, not
Yeah.
that I'm like, he's on a journey, go, you know, but it's like
No,
it could
it's
be a rough day for
acceptance.
them. Yeah.
Acceptance is not the same as allowance.
Yeah,
And
yes.
so
Right.
and also discernment and judgment are not the same as like condemnation. So
Yeah.
you get to use those tools. Like if you can discern, I think someone's a little farther ahead on the journey than me.
Yeah.
You can just you get to then say, so I have something to learn from them because they've been there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if you can discern, I think they're a little behind, they're behind me actually. I was trying to like I was kind of trying to drag them up to speed with me,
Yeah.
but they're actually behind me and I can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Or, someone comes into your sphere and you're like, actually, they're behind me. Their advice is not wise to me,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, and that is a process too. Like that whole thing is a process, but I think there's like a sense with this month, like around this time frame. And like I'll just say this too, like time and linear, and we're ascribing these to certain months, but the reality is these are stations of the journey for you. They're
Hmm.
not
Yeah.
necessarily like I'm saying, okay, this is around September. And you're going to find things in September that match up with this, but I think what you're going to find really is that all of these things happen because of each other. And
Right.
so, really, you're getting to this point because you've embraced the journey before it. Like you're coming to this place of recognition because you went through that space in the desert and because you went through that
Yeah.
time of like reconciling in your internal conflict, because you spent, June walking through streams. Like, because
Hmm.
you've done all these things, you get to the point of like, I accept my journey as it is, and I allow other people to have their journeys as they are. Because
Hmm.
at this point in my journey, I don't need to anchor to them anymore. I
Yeah.
am my own stability.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you can allow people to have their own journey because you're not trying to bring them up to your journey, or you're
Right.
not
Right.
trying to like take their journey, like to like
Yeah.
squish into their storyline.
Right.
And this is also not to say that it's only peaceful. It's like okay, it is the counterbalance of these two things. You can both accept it with like a really really lovely peace and acknowledge that it feels like this sometimes. Like
Hmm.
you don't have to take equanimity as like I imagine it's like how people feel when they first get on like antidepressants. It's like I feel nothing. I feel no
Hmm.
good. I feel no bad. That's not what equanimity in this case means.
Okay.
The wheel
Yeah.
means having a greater understanding that the wheel keeps turning. And even though I'm in a shitty phase, I will eventually, the wheel will turn out of this. And there is a reason for it all. Or
Yeah.
even though I'm in a really good phase, the wheel will turn out of that too. And
Hmm.
so you you accept and treasure it all, even if it's hard.
Yeah.
And you don't try to cling to the high points so that you can avoid the low. You
Right.
accept the wheel as it turns.
Right. Right.
Okay. All that being said, October is the tower.
The tower. Look at that storm going all around and just that
Yeah.
solitary figure sitting right in the middle of it.
So what I appreciate about this tower, and as opposed to other towers, is like a lot of the other tower cards, the guy is like
The
falling and
falling.
and the like building is breaking and it's like "Rah!"
Yeah.
And I think those are examples of when you are not in a real reality about your life. That
Hmm.
is when those towers happen. Like illusion and the facades break down dramatically and you are left crashing in them.
Hmm.
What I love about this image is that's not you. Like you're not
Yeah.
falling, you're not
Yeah.
crashing. In fact, this person's like deeply peaceful and has a fire in their heart
Hmm.
that they're tending to.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think this is one of your first tests. This is going to be one
Okay.
of the first tests of the work you've been doing through this year is going to come around the October phase
Okay.
where the thing you've been tending in your heart, you're going to have to really protect.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so down here, it's going to be rumblings. Up here, it's going to be a lot of thoughts, opinions, and judgments on you.
Okay.
And
Okay.
in the middle is you, but you are elevated from it, and these things are close to you, but you're not budging.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not out of stubbornness of will. It's out
Yeah.
of a deep sense of self.
Okay.
That is a very, very different experience. When you
Yeah.
are confident in who you are and what you're doing, nothing can shake you. Okay.
Yeah.
Stubbornness and forcefulness and white knuckling it and grasping, this tower card will destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But this energy is not going to destroy you. If anything, it's going to fuel this little heart fire
Yeah. Okay.
because you're going to have such a deep sense of self. It's going to be just you and your heart fire. You're just going to be
Yeah.
hanging and you're going to be like, I am really confident about this decision
Yeah.
or this path that I'm on. And in the end, like there's always a rainbow. Like you
Yeah.
are
Coming after it.
rainbow comes up in several of these cards. It's like uh it's a reminder of hope. And it's a hope that you are fostering. It's not an external thing being given to you. It's like
Yeah.
it's coming back to this where we're like stretch you're creating the hope back here. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
doing that. And so it will sustain you when things get rocky. It's going to get fucking rocky too. I don't know what that means. Like I don't know
Yeah.
what's going to be around you like but um it's going to feel really really rocky. But
Mm-hmm.
um it's funny because it's like not like the desert though at the beginning of the year, not like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's like that's gonna feel really desolate and lonely. That's not what this is gonna be like. It's like you're gonna know this is swirling around you, and it's not that you're gonna be unaffected, but the central part of it is unaffected, like because
Yeah.
you have done so much work to shore up like who you are and what you think and what you believe really about
Mm-hmm.
yourself.
Yeah.
Um, it's interesting because these last 4 months of the year are all major arcana cards.
Okay.
So it
Makes
makes
sense.
me think that that part, like September, October, November, December, is going to be really impactful month. That's going to be a really impactful, like it's not a quarter, it's like a little over a quarter for you of the year,
Okay. Yeah.
third of
Yeah.
the year. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like that
Interesting.
confidence.
Interestingly enough, though, it's not getting as much emphasis as other parts of the year in terms of like what you need to know. So
Yeah. Well,
I
you're
think
talking about the
that's
tower card with that.
huh?
You're referring to the tower card.
All
It's
four
not getting as
months,
much.
honestly. Like
Oh,
there's
okay. It's not getting as much.
it's
Okay.
not like
Interesting.
there's just not I feel like you're coming to a point in the at this point of the year where like how to say this. Okay. When you're moving from living someone else's life to living your own life,
Hmm.
that transition feels really hard because you've like I said, you were a ship in a comfortable harbor. Even if it wasn't your harbor, there was predictability there. And there's
Hmm.
a difficultness to living someone else's story. That is,
Yeah.
it's like you're going through hardships, but there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
right? You're only going through hardships because it's someone else's story and it's unnecessary suffering.
Hmm.
And then you try to move into your story and it's not going to feel safe or comfortable because you don't know this territory. So those hardships feel differently hard too. But once you're in your life, your narrative, there's challenges, but there's a reason for them. Like you can understand there's a reason for them. You can understand, it's like there's a deeper knowing that helps make the challenges not feel like suffering. So
Okay.
I think that's a bit, these months are not negligible. There's really important things happening during them,
Yeah.
but there's not as much you need to be prepared for because by the
Hmm.
time you get there, you are in your narrative. Like you are in your story now. And
Hmm.
so these things that are coming through, it's more about like, um, how is this impacting your relationship to yourself? Like, really,
Yeah.
that's all we're asking because
Yeah.
everything flows out of that.
Right.
So, November is the star. So, it's
That's such a
17,
great card.
17 in the tarot, and again, it's balance, dude. It's like there's so
Yeah.
much, like, yes, it's dark. Yes, you're moving through a dark, but this is not an unknown. This is not moving through darkness that is fearful or scary it's unknown, but it's like you're making peace with that.
Yeah.
You're making peace with that journey.
Yeah.
Traversing the shadowy parts of yourself is no longer scary. It's a necessary step. And
Hmm.
you understand how it fits in, like how this reflective work, how it fits in. She's even like reaching for it, like just
Yeah. Kind
willingly
of welcoming
reaching
it.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
welcoming it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then December finishes out with another really beautiful balance
Of the
example in the
lovers.
lovers. And what I love about, well, one, you got the moon, so a
Hmm.
little moon baby. Um, but the lovers really symbolizing a balance in our own like masculine and feminine energies. And I want to come back to like that meaning, coming back to the idea of equitable. It doesn't mean that they're 50-50 split.
Yeah.
It means that you embrace the balance you hold. So everyone has a balance of masculine and feminine energies within them.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean that the ratio is the same for every person. It's not
Okay.
one to
Yeah.
one. Very rarely is it one to one. Most of the time, someone's a little more feminine, they're a little more masculine, regardless of their gender expression. Like you are a balance that's unique to you. What is your balance? Like that's what that December month is about is recognizing and appreciating that, I think this is true for a lot of people who are strong women, is that actually our masculine is strong, is in a greater ratio to our feminine. Like
Mhm.
masculine is more than feminine.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's okay. You don't have to be any expression of those that doesn't fit you. And
Right.
so if you can look at that and say, okay, yeah, I actually, or I'm actually more feminine, but I've been downplaying that because of X, Y, and Z. Like, what's your ratio? Make harmony with it. Like, make
Hmm.
peace with it, and it will feel so much better in the world. And it may be different from day to day too. Like,
Yeah.
well, today I'm feeling really femme, and I want to go and like get a pedicure. And then tomorrow you want to fucking hammer a shed. I don't know.
Yeah.
The thing is like when those things are in balance with each other and they get to play with each other in more harmony, then how you exist in the world feels better. And I think the reason that we have to even contend with this is because our culture places so much emphasis on equating those energies with our genders.
Right, right,
And when we are a certain gender, and then we have prescriptions on us for how we get to be in the world,
right.
right?
Definitions, and
Right.
that shouldn't be forced upon us. It should be willfully chosen, walked to by the
Yeah.
individual.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is like tuning into those parts of yourself and just letting them exist as they are without
Yes.
any outward structures and
Yeah.
without any inner expectations.
Yeah. Acceptance.
Yeah. Acceptance. Yeah. Yep.
And whatever, I like that. You talked to me last year about like listening to my gut and what it was saying, and this is an emphasis I keep thinking of for I mean throughout last year, but through this year as well. Like what she's saying, what are the voices speaking, like what's really going on in there, not like what's trying to influence from here or there, like, but
Mhm.
what's within, what's wanting to be right now. And do I want to go outside and chop some wood?
Mhm.
Do I like want to wear a really floral dress and like dance to Chaka Khan? I don't know.
Mhm.
Like just like,
Absolutely. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like feeling that and being open to like whatever is speaking and honoring it. And yeah, that's we're it just sucks that it's such a lot of work to like undo to get to that place where you can just be who you are, because there's all these like structures that have been like, you do this, and like
Mhm.
kind of working to undo that. And it's a lot of work. It's necessary work and it's good work that like feels super fruitful when you're like, oh, okay, now all that's stripped away and I've got this that's left. And this is what I wanted to get down to and where I wanted to be. But like the old patterns that come back in, the old thoughts, like what mom says, what dad says, like just,
Yeah.
or what, everybody else is doing outside too, that feels like it makes an impact upon you sometimes as well. Like,
Yeah.
letting go of
So,
those things.
yeah, exactly. So one of the questions I'll leave you with, like a journal your way out kind of question,
Yeah.
is what which version of Abby is the one that needs all the answers and needs to have all the answers?
Oh man.
So this is your own internal work,
Yeah.
because I think she's probably making herself known, but you need to spend some time with her and reassure her. That's
Yeah.
that's part of your prep work, is
Yeah.
reassuring her that you keep her safe now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm writing this down.
I have to sign off.
Gotta have off.
Catching
Yeah.
I have another one to get ready for in a little bit. Um,
Yay.
but
So exciting.
I'll send you the recording so you have that.
Perfect.
Um, and don't, I'm gonna say this gently, don't get wrapped up in it yet. Okay.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
do the things you need to do right now.
Hmm.
It's good to look at the homework, do some of the journaling.
Yeah.
Don't try to make sense of this year.
You told me that last year too. You're like, just leave this and then
Yeah.
come back to it later.
Yeah.
Just leave it. Don't worry about it. And then, when you think of it next and it's like February, March, then maybe look back at the recording and yeah.
Yes.
I
Exactly
am
that.
I have been trying to do more work this year though, like ending this year, journaling and going into it. I did like the 13 intentions that I'm like burning one each night so I can have an intention that will like radiate with me throughout the year, something I can come back to. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to doing the work, and I'm looking forward to just like becoming a version of myself that feels right and aligning and
You're on
isn't.
your way.
Yeah.
That's all you
I
need
see
to
you
know.
seeing me.
That's all you need to know is you're on your way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's good to hear. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
All right,
And
darling.
thank you so much for your time. You're amazing.
Absolutely.
Loved this.
All right.
Appreciate your
Happy
wisdom
New
and guidance.
Year.
Happy New Year to you
Thank
too.
you. All
Hope you
right.
have a good celebration.
All right, darling.
Bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.